Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here at the Sarit Center, the DIAR Awards, National Diversity and Inclusion Awards and Recognition. We're just here to appreciate and of course be the first cheerleaders of those guys who have been championing and creating awareness about people with disability. And of course, they have been nominated for different categories, and we're so happy that our very own host on Neuro Diaries has been, awarded an award for championing and creating awareness on matters disability. Let's check in on some of the people who won.
So my name is Mary Wanganga. I am a program director in Partners for Care. It's an NGO. That's an international NGO based in Kenya and in the US. I deal with people living with disability, and our main vision is to make people mobile. We found up ourselves at DIAR Awards today because we were nominees in the inclusion of PWDs in the NGO world, and we were invited. But we didn't know about it actually. We just got an email and we got invited. But next time I'm sure we'll win about it. So what Partners for Care does, or what we do, we bring 10 to 12 containers in a year where we make people mobile through the mobility devices. For example, last Sunday we received a container full of mobility devices. We have partners in the US, that is Mobility Worldwide. They make some equipment that we call the mobility carts. So any wheelchair that you see that is a tricycle that is wooden, it passes through Partners for Care. We are the main distributors. Wow. We also have other partners called Friends of Disabled Adults and Children that we bring in any other equipment that the disabled need in Kenya. So the container that we just received on Sunday, that is all the adaptive equipment. Our main goal is to make everybody in Kenya mobile. Wow. And we are starting with one ward, that is the Zimmerman ward. Yeah. We have one guy in the Mobility Worldwide, that is our main partner, called Mel West. His main dream is to make everybody in Kenya mobile. So we've started with the one ward, and we believe that you're going to make all wards mobile and everybody in Kenya mobile. Anybody that needs any mobility device, that's what we're trying to do to make them mobile. We've worked with all the counties in Kenya, and also we've worked with the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta.
Wow, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, yes. And we're also looking forward to work with the next governments, and also with the national governments, and with also all the First Ladies, and with so many other foundations.
Okay.
Yes.
So why have the soft spot for people with disability?
Back in 2012, I got an accident where one of my friends got disabled, and it was my starting point. I think God called me to do that. So it's like rubber stamped what God had called me to do.
Yeah.
So this is my 12th year in the disability world. Yes, I've been dealing with people with disability from the national government. I've worked with the national government, the county government, and now in the NGO world.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what I do 24/7, like every day. Like if I'm given a case, like I don't sleep on it. I just have to act on it. Yes.
All right. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced? Working with people with disabilities is not that easy at the same time. So what are some of the challenges?
We face a lot of stigma and discrimination in the disability world. Yeah. So trying to deal with that, it's a bit of a challenge, because trying to bring somebody to the level that they are accepted in the society, it's a problem. So I always urge and actually train the people in the society, don't discriminate these people. Try to understand the challenges that they are facing, so that when you understand the challenges that they are facing, you're able to bring them to their level, to your level, and you're able to understand them. Another thing is we lack so many people that are willing and they have that passion to deal with these people.
Yeah.
Just because that you believe that you're a normal person, that you're okay, doesn't mean that the other person who is differently abled is not okay.
Yeah,
so what I always tell people, that you are a candidate to disability.
Oh yeah, sure.
You are a candidate to disability. Right now you can just pass by and you just got hit by maybe anything, accident or anything, and you're on that wheelchair, you're disabled. You get pregnant, you get somebody with unseen disability,
Yeah, sure.
So I always tell people that discrimination and stigma is not part of us. Yeah. We should always try to beat it. And I always encourage mothers and also husbands and wives if you get a child with disability, try to be in a social group that advocate for people with disability so that you're able to get help. Staying alone by yourself doesn't help at all. So try to come out and you'll get help.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. It was Mary, Cynthia. Yes, and thank you so much for joining us. And whatever work you're doing, for the disability guys, God is seeing, and nothing is in vain. Cynthia. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Mary. We are here at DAR for the edition, and of course, we are celebrating the DAR Awards right here at Sarit Center. I'm here with the Phyllis Munyi Karaoke. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, we are here at Sarit Center at DAR 4th edition, awards for national diversity and inclusion, awards and recognition. Cynthia, all right, so tell us, why are you here today?
I'm here because I represent children with learning difficulties. Particularly, I was nominated and now I'm a second runners-up for diversity and inclusion.
Hey, congratulations. Congratulations.
And mainly for children with learning difficulties. We run a school called Reagem Talent School that represent children with learning difficulties. We call them hidden learning difficulties because you cannot see them, you cannot tell them, but that's the group that I represent. We also have an organization called Dyslexia Organization Kenya, which we also represent children with dyslexia, and we train teachers, we talk to parents, we talk to youth who are dyslexic, and we create awareness about dyslexia.
All right.
Yes.
So, being the second runners-up, it's not something that is just, normal. It has taken God's grace. So, how do you feel about it, and what does it mean to you?
It is, I'm excited, I'm very, very excited. First because I even didn't know this award exists.
Wow.
I even have not even to date known who nominated me.
No, be
so
serious.
yes, so it means somebody out there has saw my work, saw what we are doing, and actually fronted our names to be nominated. I am so excited. It means so a lot to us, and I'm saying even if we had not won, the fact that we have reached this level means that people are seeing what we are doing, and they are open. They are recognizing, and we are touching lives. We are touching people. We are touching children. We are changing people's lives, and that's why somebody realized and needed, so that yes, we are champions and we needed to get this award. And I'm excited that now at this point we have reached this level. We can only go higher
and higher
and higher and higher. And higher, I mean not personally, but for children who are not recognized, especially those who have hidden learning difficulties, those whose disability cannot be seen, cannot be physically or identified, but it is somewhere that is in their mind. People are talking about providing ramps, providing stairs and whatever for physically disabled, but we are talking about what are we doing, or what is the society doing for those people, especially children in school who cannot read. If today you are seen with a phone in an exam room, it is considered cheating, and probably you are not able to read. But if a gadget is provided for you to read, for you will actually pass the exam. That is the ramp for you, for that child. So that's what we are representing, and I believe we are now starting to get the platform to create awareness about neurodiversity, because that is a neurodiversity, because it is in them, it is in their genes. Nothing somebody can do, you cannot avoid it. Probably you can avoid being hit by a car and becoming a disabled, unfortunately, but this one, you are born with it, there is no you can help it. So that's the group that we are representing. I'm so happy that I'm here, and we have reached this level.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us, and we are so happy for you, by the way. It is not in vain, just the way you have said, it is not about you, it is about those children who are out there, who are struggling day and night even to read. read and everything. May you continue the same, work. And please talk to those people who are out there who discriminate people with disability, which is such a shame and such a loss, right?
Yeah, we shall. Actually, that's what we do. Talking to people, creating awareness, and pumping to them. Like they get bored with us. We everywhere you see about dyslexia, about these unknown learning difficulties, and telling people that the people with learning or with unseen or hidden disabilities are actually many than those who you can see. And so we are trying to let people understand, don't only look at physical, look at what else can this person do. In their employment, there are those people who you tell them to write minutes, they can't write minutes.
They can't.
And you push them. When they don't do that, you feel they are not performing, they are lazy, and they are actually put down and embarrassed because they are all over in all sectors.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Phyllis, the second runner-up. Which category?
Diversity and inclusion. Person with disability.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us, and we wish you all the best. May you continue the same spirit, and of course, helping the disability people. We are here for you, just the way you have just said it. We have to create awareness about these people. All right. That was Phyllis. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, so I'm here right now with Obedian Okoth. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. I'm so happy for you. By the way, I had to carry this one. I had, to brag a little bit. Man, it is a big deal. Which category were you nominated for?
Diversity and inclusion for youth in leadership. Generally, just all young people using their leadership skills to promote diversity and inclusion.
All right. So what does this mean to you? It's a big deal to have this kind of, when you go and put it in your office, everyone who comes there, they're like, okay, he made it. So what does it mean to you?
I think it means that somebody is watching, at least. Yeah. Because we've been working with young people for a while now. I think it's almost like 7-8 years. And if you do it out of the good heart and understand, then you get really surprised that you are nominated for something. Then you're like, okay, maybe somebody somewhere is watching. Yeah. And also it's just kind of motivations, because I would work with around 140 other young people across the country.
All right.
So I'm like, they're like, okay, maybe it's a good thing to do some of these things. We also network with other people, makes everyone to think about, if you're a youth leader, are you thinking about diversity and inclusion? So I feel like I'm feeling quite excited, to be honest. Yeah. I didn't think I would.
You can't wait to get and post.
I think I've talked to a lot of photographers, told them to send me the pictures.
I know.
Yeah, my phone unfortunately cannot take very clear photos, but
you're here for it.
I've taken a lot of photos from my friends and everything. So tomorrow, I think people need to top up their bundles.
We have There's no way to,
But it's nice.
All right. So what do you do exactly in your organization for you to be nominated for this? You have, of course, put a lot of work in whatever that you're doing. People want to know, what exactly do you champion for?
Yes. I am part and I lead a team of young people who are leading an organization called Respect, but Respect with a K, which is an abbreviation that stands for Reproductive and Sexual Health Programs for Kenyan Teenagers. So our organization generally works with medical students from across the country, and then we facilitate workshops to a lot of schools, work with community health workers, just to make sure that we can promote access to SRHR services. So conversations about teenage pregnancy, contraceptives, talking about menstrual hygiene management across the country, talking about people, because you'll be surprised how many people have never seen pads in the country. However basic they sound, it's insane. We even went to a school where we produced a bunch of pads, sanitary towels, and then the men ran out of class because they have never touched it. And they felt like it's something that should not be opened in front of them. They're like, okay guys, we will leave so that you guys can open that document. So that's what we did.
All right. Do you feel like people are doing enough, maybe the government even, to support such initiatives?
I think people are doing something, but it's not really enough. For example, if you just take one of the basics, because some other SRHR things are a bit controversial, but even if you take the basic, like menstrual hygiene management, the fact that you have huge numbers, thousands and thousands of people in the country that cannot access pads, it's a problem. We've gone to a region like Kajiado, where we had to drive for a radius of around 1.5 hours drive, and there was only like one shop around this area. But this shop, because of patriarchy and everything, it's owned by a man and this man is not selling pads. Well, as a private citizen, you cannot force him to sell this product. But as somebody who is reasonable, you would expect that because he's already an entrepreneur, maybe he can provide service, something that can serve people in the community. It's not his part, but maybe government can do some part. But also the fact that all that radius, there's one shop, and this shop does not sell this thing that everyone needs per month. I feel we have a long way to go. A really long way to go. And teenage pregnancy, now we have 12-year-olds getting pregnant. It's an uncomfortable situation because all their life is thrown out of the window, they drop out of school. It's a lot of things that we still need to do. A long way to go, I must say.
Okay. So what is one different thing that you wish maybe the society or even the government or even people can do, to ensure that every single girl in school or wherever they are, no matter even in, the rural areas, what is one thing that we can do differently to help these girls?
I think we need to do the basic thing that doesn't require money. We need to open channels of communication. So we need to be more understanding. If us as older people and even just other peers are able to sit down and listen to each other without judging them, then a lot of things will be sorted. Being able to sit down with a child to make them feel comfortable that they can challenge you and tell you what is not working will go a long way, because then they will also feel comfortable to tell you, oh, Dad, I have this guy who is my boyfriend, and then you realize, okay, this child is 12. So maybe you should just telling them, if you do this, you will be pregnant. They need to be told. So having this conversation that is non-judgmental and open-minded would help a little bit, because even for the children, some of them who don't have pads, they can't talk about it with their parents. Then they talk about it with other people who are predators. Then they can easily get STI, get pregnant, just so that they get pads. But if the conversation was more open, there's always somebody else who has 50 shillings that is able to help you have a pad. So opening the conversation is really important. We need to stop this thing called taboos, or you can't mention this in front of this, you should not do this. You need to be a bit more comfortable. Like a child can tell you, I think I'm having some weird discharge. Please take me to hospital. Then they can check if they have STIs. Instead of waiting for it to be a sore and start to smell, and they have a lot of complications. If we open communications, I think it will help.
So open communication is the key to a hygiene society and, of course, a beautiful, beautiful society. So thank you so much, Bidian.
Yes.
Bidian.
Yeah, you should talk to my mom. Don't really know where
yeah.
It's a good one.
All right. So apart from this, do you do anything else, or you're just here like 100%, 24 hours?
Well, actually, I have a foot everywhere. It's a little bit. I'm also an official in the Commonwealth Youth Council for the entire Commonwealth. I'm part of the advocacy and campaigns team in the Commonwealth Youth Council. So it's a umbrella body for youth organizations across the 54 countries. So I do that too, a little bit with the British High Commission in Kenya. So that's where one of my foot is. Funnily enough, I also do reproductive health things there. So it's kind of an intense passion of mine to do that. But now this is what I'm doing quite a lot. I'm pushing it quite a lot. Recently, I founded an organization called Wajibu Wetu Center, trying to create social protection, accountability, economic accountability. We want to talk to government agencies and also private sector on social protections and economic. For example, conversations about banking. Like, how are banks feeling when a lot of people maybe in the northeastern Kenya cannot bank because they don't have IDs. So yes, they struggle to get IDs, but is there something the banks can do to make sure that they can have a bank account or even an M-Pesa account? Okay. Can M-Pesa come up with a system like that? So things like that.
All right. So do you want to have conversation with individuals, people, or the government officials themselves?
No, first you talk with the people in the ground so that they tell you.
All right. So can we invite you to a station maybe? We have a show known as Money Monday, entrepreneur speech. Maybe you can come as a guest and, advise people on one way or, on matters banking and everything. Would you come?
I would love to. I think I would probably live there, but I would love to come and have this conversation because it's the tough conversations. Yeah. Also, young people, yes, it's fine, we don't get a lot of money, but there's something you can do with your money in terms of savings that you can work around it. You don't have to really grow very fast, but you just need to know your steps and do your part.
So inviting you, by the way, we're inviting you. But we're so thankful, for your time, talking to us about all those things. May God see you through. May God, straighten up your path and make sure that everything that you need, to offer to those, like sanitary towels. Do you have sponsors?
Yeah, we work very closely with a lot of people because also despite it being national, we work through chapters which are university chapters. So we are present in 11 universities, and our volunteers are known to work in university domes to get donations from university students across the country. Then we would donate to those ones. So we get quite a lot from that donation from universities. University students don't mind giving you a whole pack and like, okay, I'm giving you one, but I'll give you one every 6 months. But universities have a lot of people, so we get a lot. Yeah.
All right, there we have it. That was Biden. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Alice. Thank you. My name is Alice too, by the way. Now we are namesakes.
Well,
it's a pleasure.
Yes.
All right. So, Alice, which category were you nominated for? And before that, how did you get yourself nominated for DIAR Awards?
Parents and caregivers in Differently Talented Society of Kenya nominated me to the DIAR Awards to represent them in the organization and in the awards. So basically, I found myself nominated, and they notified me that I had been nominated in the Disability Inclusion Championship. Yes.
So what do you do in your organization? Which organization do you run, for disability guys?
Our organization is called Differently Talented Society of Kenya. It's a psychosocial support group of parents, caregivers, and persons with autism spectrum disorders. This is an organization that brings together everybody working with persons with autism spectrum disorders and their families. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what does it mean to you having this, you are the second runners-up?
Yes.
So did you expect to win? Was this your expectation? Did you know, what, I'm relaxed, this one I got it?
I didn't really expect to win, but I was looking forward to a win also, because a win for me is a win for DTSK. It's a win for caregivers of children with autism spectrum disorders and persons with autism spectrum disorders. So a win is not just a win for me, it's a win for my community, because neurodiverse conditions have been left behind for the longest time. Remember that these are conditions that have no physical features. And there's a tendency of people assuming the invisible disabilities because people associate disability with something that you can see. So we find that autism spectrum disorders and persons with autism and intellectual disorders have been left behind. And a lot of time they are not even included in many things, from employment to various activities within, even socializing with others. Remember that autism is a condition that affects behavior, the way a child interacts with others, the way a child communicates. So basically you can imagine if somebody was nonverbal, then chances of them also being discriminated against within society would be, it's very, very noticeable and it's very, very common. So this win is a win for us. Yes.
So what thing do you do differently in your organization to ensure that all these challenges that these people with disability face, like unemployment issues, you curb all these things?
Within our organization, we've come up with a program. Remember that we champion for inclusion of persons with autism spectrum disorders, full participation of persons with autism spectrum disorders in accordance with the Article 19 of the CRPD, ensuring that they participate in society. And what we do is we've come up with programs that involve training of caregivers in entrepreneurship skills, and also looking towards having them also included in employment, and especially micro enterprises, because we find that most of our children and adults, most of our adults with autism, a lot of them are within the home setup. A lot of them are not even in gainful employment. So what is this that we can do? So we have come up with a program that ensures that if they cannot be employed, that they are able to employ themselves through learning requisite skills on micro enterprises and learning specific skills. And we have a partnership with NITA, and we are looking forward to many, many more programs, and even interacting and collaborating and partnering with others to be able to ensure that persons with autism spectrum disorders are fully included in all spheres of life. Yes.
All right.
All persons with disabilities are included in all spheres of life, not just persons with autism, but all persons with disability, because we know that discrimination and stigma has been inherent and it has been there for the longest time. So we want to see change, we want to see inclusion, we want to see diversity in the workplace, diversity in games, diversity in all spheres. Thank you. Yes.
Like everyone should be accepted no
Yes,
matter
yes.
what kind of challenge or disability they are facing.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're so happy for you. You know, you're the second runners up, and you know it's a big deal. So keep on doing what you're doing, and we are just here to back you up, and of course to to keep on cheering you up. It is a big deal to have this kind of award, and we hope that God sees you through in everything that you do. All right. So tuko na Esther Wamai. Esther Wamai is one of the hosts at DGTV Kenya. So we want to get a brief, about the entire event, how it has been, and what it entails.
Okay, very good. So the DIAR Awards are awards that recognize champions of inclusion in different spaces, gender, disabilities, and today I am honored to be awarded the Disability and Inclusion Champion for Persons with Disabilities.
All right, so which category were you nominated for? First of all, before we even get to the winning part of it, because my goodness, we are excited as a Digi family. We are so happy for you, by the way. You just won. So tell us which category you are nominated.
Okay, I was nominated for the category of Diversity and Inclusion Champion for persons with disabilities, and that this is individual category, because we had corporate category and we had individual category. So I was nominated for that category. It entailed voting, and I'm so excited for my friends, family, the DG family, Uzuri Institute family, everybody who voted. And I actually sent out the appeal and I told them, guys, we need to bring this award home. And we thank God that He has honored us and given us the award.
Amen, amen, and amen. So what does this award means to you, and of course your organization, because you are you're such a important person in the society? So what does this mean to you?
Okay, very good. And probably before I answer that, so the winning did not just involve the voting. Actually, voting was just 30%. So 70% was also a judging process by a team of jury that was judging our work. So we made submissions for our work, and I thank God that I have made it, because it was a very, very competitive award. We were actually 8 in our category, and so to have emerged the winner in that category, it has taken God and of course the support of very good family members, friends, colleagues like you guys. Yes. So for me, this is an honor. I have always regarded persons who work with persons with disabilities as unsung heroes, because there's so much that goes into supporting persons with disabilities, and especially when they are children, like those of us who are in special education. So we have children who are nonverbal, we have children who have no independent skills, we have children who we have to know when they're in pain, to know when they're hungry, because they can't express themselves. And just being there for them, supporting them, and seeing them make progress, small milestones every day, it's such a win. And of course, eventually even seeing most of them ending up in universities and colleges and working, it is such an honor. So I think I have been rewarded for my work with the children in inclusion in different spaces. Apart from inclusive education, I have fought for inclusion in the spaces of sports, including golf. And for the first time in Kenya, we have children with special needs playing golf. Locally and competing locally and even internationally. We have won awards internationally. I have fought for inclusion for children in the spaces of fashion. So we now have inclusive runways where children with special needs are competing, even in pageants, and taking part in runways. And I also want to really thank my partners, because it is through them that I have come this far. I wouldn't have made it alone. I have so many partners who have been on board. Media partners like DGTV, corporate partners like Safaricom, and many others. Sports organization institutions like Junior Golf Federation, Kenya Golf Union, Muthaiga Golf Club, Special Olympics, and many others. even development partners, missions like the the Australian High Commission. So all those have really been instrumental in supporting our work and ensuring that we have won this award.
All right. So for someone who doesn't, know why exactly did you start at disability school? What was your inspiration? What was in your mind, and you just decided, you know what, I need to take care of these people?
Yes. Well, actually, I did not start the school. I ran the school on behalf of parents of children with special needs who are just parents, but they don't know how to run a school. So I came in to fill that gap, to ensure that we are running a world-class school that is offering quality, inclusive education for children with special needs. But beside that, I also have founded my own organization called Bloom Dyslexia Center that champions for the rights of children with special needs and also give inclusive dyslexia support services to this community and their families.
All right. So you didn't answer my question, the one that I asked. What does this mean to you now in your career, in your everything? What does this mean to you?
Well, I think it means everything. First of all, I'm really humbled, and just to know that people out there have noticed my work, and that I have impacted these children in a way that others have seen and recognized. And I think I first want to dedicate this award to those children, those beautiful and amazing children whom are the reason that I wake up every morning to go and work. So I dedicate, and for their resilience, because it's not easy for them. And the fact that they are so resilient, the fact that they are very determined, that is what actually keeps us going. So for me, I think this award is just an impetus to actually make me even work harder and especially reach out to more children and just devolve these services to the entire country, because I can tell you I am in a position where I'm receiving calls every day from distressed parents across the country, not knowing what to do with their children. So I think for me this is an affirmation that I'm doing something, but I need to do it in a bigger way.
Hey, another milestone, eh?
Oh yes, it is.
All right, that was Esther Wamae. Thank you so much. We are so happy for you, by the way. As the DigiTV team, by the way, we are here to support you. And of course, at Neuro Diaries, you guys, you need to watch that show. It is amazing.
Thank you.
All right, that was Esther Wamae, and this is DigiTV.